I feel like naked if I'm not wearing a hat or some form of glasses.
I've been meaning to tell you your skin looks phenomenal.
Well, you tell me that every time I come here and I'm like not like coming from working 8 hours or like coming from the gym and working 8 hours or vice versa or whatever. Like when I take a shower and like do my glam, like I a bitch turns out.
Okay, but still a slay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But I do feel like naked when I'm not wearing a hat or glasses. So I'm in a very vulnerable state, you guys, right now.
Everybody be kind to Chris.
Like just please just bear with me while I navigate this
difficult time.
difficult time.
We'll
yeah.
be okay.
Okay, girls, it's been a minute. How's it going? What's going on? What's up? What's
Hi, everybody.
new? I miss you.
We haven't recorded in a minute. We're happy to be here.
Fuck off.
Hi. Be nice to her. Oh my God. She's sensitive too. She's in a vulnerable
That was
state.
like my Uber driver here. When I was coming here, my Uber driver was like, "Hi, what's your name?" And I was like, "Chris." And I got in the car and he was like, "Chris or Christopher?" And I was like, "Chris." And he was like, "Well, I have Christopher here." And I was like, thought he was like trying to kick me out of the car.
Yeah.
And I was like, "It's the same thing." And he was like, "I was just trying to make a joke." And I was like, "Oh, girl, okay." I was like, "I thought you were trying to kick me to the curb." I was like, "Okay." And
Sorry,
then it was
but you're not
awkward.
really funny.
I was like, "That was weird."
That was
and
a joke
of
that
course,
bombed.
the car smelled.
I hope no one has ever told you to do stand-up comedy.
Hi, girls. Welcome back to Hot and Bothered. This is Christopher / Chris Bruno, in case you're my Uber driver.
I'm Cedar Champ.
And on this podcast, we talk about everything that we find hot as fuck.
And everything that bothers the shit out of us.
We have 0 credentials.
Minimal life experience.
And don't take anything we say too seriously.
Yeah. Okay, there was some girl commenting on our Instagrams earlier today, and she was like going to bat for us. She commented, she was like, "I don't understand how no one can understand that this is obviously a joke, blah 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 blah." And
We
then
love
she
her.
like replied to comments of other people like
Dude.
talking shit about us. And I was like, "Go off, girl. Like go off."
Okay. We really appreciate all the new followers. That's like a huge fucking slay.
A
Like
huge
seriously,
fucking
that's
slay.
crazy. Like that shit went off. But there's so many fucking comments going on. Like every time I check my phone, it's like da-da-da-da, and people are tagging each other and there's paragraphs and I'm like,
I'm not reading that essay.
I'm like, are you guys working? Like who's at work right now?
Yeah.
Like what are you guys doing?
No, but comment
Why
away.
is this affecting you so much?
Okay, wait. Chris sent me a text earlier, or a couple days ago or whatever, and he was like talking about like people commenting on our shit and how everybody's losers, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, yes, if you're commenting something positive, you're hot and you're cool and you're fun and you're smart and you're successful. But if you're commenting and you're hating on us, then you are a loser with no fucking life. You have no fucking job. You have no friends and everybody fucking hates you. And that's it. So,
but keep commenting.
Keep commenting. Do not stop commenting.
We love it.
We actually really love the attention. It's been very good for our egos. Every morning, Chris and I wake up and we text each other.
Like whoever wakes up first, we give each other like a profile update.
Yeah, essentially.
It's really good.
And
but no, it's been fun.
It's been fun.
It's been crazy.
If you're not following us on Instagram or TikTok, follow us, Hot and Bothered the Pod. But why would you be here if you aren't?
And you know what conversation I've been having with a lot of people lately, randomly about musicians?
Tell us.
Is people are like, oh, like I'm like her, I'm her biggest stan. Like I'm obsessed with her, but like I don't want anyone else to know about her. And I'm like, if you're a big fucking fan, you would want that bitch to blow up.
Yeah.
So don't fucking gatekeep it. Blow it up.
I have the same perspective, but I also have another perspective to offer. Okay, because I was thinking the same thing because someone messaged us the other day and they were like, I wish that I could gatekeep you guys like a little bit longer, but I'm happy to see that you guys are growing. And I was like, thank you so much, but also don't gatekeep us. But we're
like so thirsty. This is so ghetto.
We're so desperate.
Oops, I can't say that.
Oh, I had a friend public service announcement, and this is something I wanted to address. We decided we're not gonna. Enough people have expressed that it's not okay to say the word ghetto, and like we know that to an extent. We're not gonna say it anymore.
I'm cycling it out, but I've had a few drinks, so
we're working on it.
Shit's coming out.
It's loose, but I did feel like that's something that we need to address because like I am big on, this is going to take a whole other avenue. I'm big on not offending people. I don't really like to upset people. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, especially
Those
like,
are all lies. That's the whole point of this podcast.
well, yeah, but to an extent, right? And especially when it comes to really sensitive topics, like, okay, so anyway, we're not saying the G word anymore. However, um okay, yeah, so I had a friend um last week. We were talking about an artist, Gacy. Yeah, John Wayne Gacy. No, we were talking about Gracie Abrams.
Okay,
And
she's my fucking queen. If you want to talk about Gracie Abrams, I'm gonna die.
okay, here's
We
the
should
thing.
go see her in New York in
So,
October with Richie.
okay, I'm so down.
We're going.
Hi, Richie. He
Also,
doesn't
like a
listen.
nepotism queen. Like, go off.
I don't know anything about her, but let me
Okay,
finish the story.
Her dad,
So,
her mom,
who?
JJ Abrams, I think his name is JJ. JJ? Don't correct me if I'm wrong. He's like some huge Hollywood producer, some fucking guy, and her mom's like some huge lawyer, but like probably stopped working because the dad's so rich. They're like huge Hollywood people.
Love them. Us. Okay, so she she like has been obsessed with Gracie Abrams for so fucking long, and went to her shows when there were like 70 people there, and like loves her. And she was like, I'm happy that like she is getting the attention she deserves. However, now I can't even afford to go to her shows.
Yeah.
And I get
also
that.
like when you're gatekeeping something, it has like a level of like sacredness to it.
Yeah.
Like
It's personal.
it's personal and it's like not overdone, and you can appreciate it more without it being like so mainstream and like I don't know the word. I don't know.
But on the other hand, we're not doing shows. We're a podcast, so don't gatekeep us.
Doing a show. Don't give me hives. I can't even think of that. Doing a show. What the fuck would we do?
What would we talk about? Can you
I
imagine?
don't know.
We would stand up in front of an audience. I would stutter, and we would look at each other like, "What the
I
fuck
would
do
like
we talk
have
about?"
like my girl boss pants on and be like corporate America. Like I would be
You would
Nancy
be-
Pelosi up there. Like I don't
can
even know what I would
fully
do.
see you taking a few shots before, and then fully popping pussy on stage. Like,
Oh, 1,000%.
yeah.
It'd go one way or the other.
should we have a show, guys? Let us know.
I don't even know what the fuck that means. Should we have a show? Okay, also we are still losers. Like we're not there
No
yet.
one cares about us.
Okay, girls. Sorry, you just went down like a whole manifestation rabbit hole.
We have 5 followers, and we're like, are we hosting live shows?
No, but that shit popped off. And you
No.
know what? It's cool.
It's cool.
So, and we weren't expecting that.
No.
It's all because I said that I wanted to be in a toxic relationship.
So true.
I'm like,
Kudos to you. Chris gets the credit.
period.
Yeah, so Chris, okay, we have some things we need to talk about.
What are we talking about today?
I'm dying. Chris literally, he's been fucking gatekeeping. He had a experience this week he won't tell me about. Hold on. Until we started recording, he was like, I'm not going to tell you until we're recording. And I have not heard an ounce of this.
It's not that. It's
No, but it's interesting to me because
It's interesting to
I'm
me.
a freak and love spirituality and all of that shit.
story.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah,
okay,
what the
okay.
fuck were
I
you
was talking
talking
about?
about?
I was talking about my physical altercation.
Oh my God, yeah, that too, but we'll get to that.
Okay, me being on like totally opposite ends of the spectrum. Okay, so yesterday, are you done talking? Should I start talking?
I think
Is
I
it
don't
story
know.
time?
Yeah.
Okay, so I have a lot of friends who, well, I have one friend.
Chris is so popular.
No, I have one friend who goes and sees this lady who is like a spiritual healer. I can't think of the word. Hypnotherapy. Hypnotherapist, spiritual leader. And I had a friend go there, and she's like, I've been going to her for 10 years. Like, she's amazing. Like, da 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 da. And a couple of my other friends have been going to her, and they were like, she's so great, blah, blah, blah. I've been recently dabbling in the idea of like seeing a new therapist, but I'm just like, I know I'm like
Too far gone.
something about therapy for me though just like doesn't really align with myself. Like I feel like if I could see someone who were to like I feel like therapy is great, obviously, but like I feel like I've done therapy a few times and it's just like, okay, like, are we just chit chatting? Like, I want someone to do something for me.
Like
Like,
someone needs to like really dig and like
someone needs to
force
do
you
something
to
for
like,
me that I've
yeah,
never experienced.
yeah,
Like, if I'm going to like some weird, like, cathartic moment to go like talk to someone and pay them God knows how much money, like,
yeah,
I want to have some kind of experience that's gonna like change me instantly and will hook me on whatever the fuck it is.
yeah.
So, and I know like it takes time to like ease into therapy and whatever, but I'm like, I don't know. Like, I don't know if that's
I want to say something really quick.
go.
Hot take. Therapy is great. I'm a big, 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 big advocate for therapy, and that's for like the normal person. However, I do think that like if you don't think that therapy is your vibe, and like if you can find other ways to A, work on yourself, and B, like
Grow
be a better
internally,
person and grow and develop, and yes, then like so be it.
explore
Like
other
do that.
options.
Yeah, that there's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with that. Like therapy is great, but like if you don't feel like it's right for you, as long as you're doing something to better yourself, then it doesn't matter.
Yeah, like that, whatever that is, besides doing drugs, is a form of therapy. But I
1000%.
just feel like for me personally, for therapy, it's like kind of like creating issues and like talking about the same thing in circles.
It's a whole
Anyway,
other rabbit hole we can go
yeah,
down
we'll talk
someday.
about that
Yeah.
another day.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I make an appointment with this lady. So I go there. She opens the door, and I'm expecting like hippy dippy, like whatever it's called, like those like jade gem things, like on her chest, like gray hair, like incense burning,
Mm-hmm.
prim and proper,
Slay.
like Persian lady, like
Love her.
beautiful, like has no work done but is stunning. And she was just so polite and professional and so sweet. And then she takes me in, and I'm kind of like, I trust her because of what my friends have told me about her,
Yeah.
but like I could tell that like she didn't trust me, and I'll get there. Um and she was very like reserved. So the session was an hour long, but it was like an hour and 45 minutes because we'll get there. So basically like the first 45 minutes, she's asking about like getting to know me. What do you do for work? She was like, "Well, why are you here?" And this is going to sound really weird because I felt like I've kind of been in like a rut lately, and then that day I woke up and I was like, I feel completely fine, like my life is perfect. Do you have days like that?
Yeah, 1000%.
Like I woke up and I was like, fuck, I have to go see this lady, and like I'm
Nothing's wrong.
and my life is perfect.
Yeah.
Like my life is completely perfect. So I sit down and I just kind of I tell her, I was like, I just feel kind of like, complacent in my, job right now. Like I'm not motivated, and usually like that's like the biggest driving force for like me to like, do anything. So we kind of started talking about that, and she was just kind of like looking at me, like didn't really offer me anything, and I was like, okay, bitch.
Like, okay, what are we doing?
Yeah. And then she started asking about my personal life. She started asking about like my friends and family. And then we started kind of like I was doing the fucking talking. I started kind of deep diving to her about how like I don't really feel like I mesh, or not mesh. Like I don't feel like I connect with like gay culture, as hard as that may sound to believe. Like I was just
Mhm.
like, I don't have that many gay friends. I don't like
Yeah.
subscribe to that many like things that gay people like latch themselves onto. That's gonna sound really bad, but that gay people identify with, that is like gay culture. That like, I don't know. Like I'm just like, I like what I like, and I don't fucking care. I could like football, which I don't, but like I could also like RuPaul's Drag Race. Like I just like what I like, and I don't
Right.
like force myself to like something because, anyway, whatever. So we talked about that for a long time, which was actually really interesting, and she was really insightful. Okay, so let's cut to the good part, talking about myself. No one cares. So then she kind of starts to open up, and she's like giving me a lot of feedback. She has a really thick accent, so it was kind of hard for me to understand, but it was like giving like chic, like her accent. And she was like in a black dress. I was like, okay, I'm obsessed with
Slay.
you. Like gorgeous living room, like piano. And I was like, okay, what's going on? And so then she was like, do you want to tap into yourself? And like literally, like
You were like, no.
I like have goosebumps. Like I literally have goosebumps. No, I was like 1,000%. I was like, I've been waiting for you to fucking do something to me. I was like,
Yeah.
I've been waiting for you to do something to me. She was like, do you want to tap into? She's like, do you want to tap into like the divine power? Do you want to tap, not in a creepy way though,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
she
yeah,
was
yeah.
not fucking creepy. She was not corny or
Yeah.
creepy at all. She was like, do you want to tap into a higher power? Do you want to tap into your deepest personal self? And I was like, yeah. So she was like, okay, get comfortable. Like, and I've never been hypnotized, and I don't know what it feels like. I've never like done any research on it.
Have you ever tried to get hypnotized?
Via TikTok,
Okay.
like just like shit like that.
Yeah.
Um, and I'm gonna preface this with, I don't know if I was fully hypnotized, because I do feel like if I were to go back, I would lean much more into it, being more comfortable with her and with
Right.
the
And
situation.
feeling safe.
But I
and
definitely was like in a like super calm. But I'm also like so ADD that I was like thinking about a million things while she was talking to me. I was like, what am I gonna tell my friend that took me here? Like, oh my god, my phone keeps vibrating. Like,
Yeah.
what's going on? So it was a little hard for me to like fully immerse myself in the experience, but I was still super effective. So she starts doing like the usual stuff, like breathe in, breathe out, like your chest, you're feeling this, you're feeling that, da 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 da. And then all of a sudden, like she like chills me out, and I'm just sitting there and my mind's kind of wandering, but I'm still trying to like go with the flow. There was a couple moments where I was like, fuck, I'm just gonna start laughing. But I didn't do that. And so then once it was super calm, she was like, you're gonna like see a color over you. And I was just like, this is so fucking corny. Like, I mean, what the fuck is this color gonna do? And then all of a sudden she starts talking, and I like lose her in what she's saying. I lose her in what she's saying. And this is going to sound really fucking weird, but all I could see or feel was like my body was like pure white. Like all I could see, my eyes were closed. All I could see was black, with my body sitting how it was in front of me, that was pure white with like a black outline, and then like this color over my fucking head. And I was like, what the fuck's going on? And she was like, I don't know what she was saying, and I don't know in what order she asked me these questions, but she was like, she said, what color is above your head? And I was like, it's like a really like vibrant like pink and red, like a gorgeous like hot girl nails, like pink and red, you know what I mean? Like really vibrant pink and red. And so then she was like, like said something I don't fucking remember, and then she was like, how do you feel right now? And I just started crying.
Really?
Like I literally just I was like, I was like, I just started like sobbing, and I was like, I said I feel, and then I started like crying, but it was like a silent sob. Like I wasn't like I was just like, tears were rolling
Like,
down
just
my face,
streaming,
like
just
just
streaming.
streaming down my face. And then I was like, I feel so calm, and I feel so hollow. Like I was like, I just feel so hollow. Like my body felt like I could feel like it was fucking weird. I don't know how to explain it. Like I was so connected to my physical body in that moment, and it may like that may not be like a good interpretation of how you should feel. Like you shouldn't feel hollow when you're connected to your physical body, but like I just felt like I could feel like, I don't know, it was fucking crazy. And so then she starts explaining to me what the colors meant, and she was like, it kind of was like giving bogus. It was like clarity, and like I don't fucking even remember what she said.
But it also kind of like doesn't matter.
No, it
Like
doesn't
if
matter.
it even if it was like bogus, like it
No,
doesn't
I was like,
matter.
tell me that, like, tell me anything. Like, I
Yeah.
don't give a fuck. It was really cool. So then she starts talking to me about how I'm feeling and the colors that I'm seeing and interpreting that. And then she was like, she like wakes me up, but I don't think I was awake. Like my eyes were open, but I think I was still hypnotized. And then she stood up, and I was like, okay, does she think I'm like gonna kill her? Like, cause I was like still me in my head, but like not.
Yeah.
And like she kind of like stood up, like, cause I think that she thought that I was supposed to be hypnotized still with my eyes closed, but they were open. But I thought she was done with whatever she was doing, so I kind of opened my eyes. Also, I was like fucking crying. And so then she was like, you just met your divine self.
Oh,
And I literally was like,
your divine self is hollow.
and I was like, love her. I
Mm.
was like, she is me and I am her. I was like, the divine self. No, she was like, you just met your divine self. And I was like, okay. Like, and then she started to wake me up. She was like, tap your feet and do this and do that.
Mhm.
And there was a bunch of other shit that she was saying too.
Yeah.
Um, and then once I woke up, I would just like was kind of sitting there and I was like crying a little bit.
Mhm.
And it was just such an overwhelming feeling of like calmness and gratitude and like reassurance. It was a really, 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 really heavy feeling of just like reassurance.
Can I ask, do you know what it was that you were like crying about?
I just
Or was it
felt,
just
I
like,
think that I just felt so validated and reassured in that moment. And that's why I
mhm.
started crying. She was like, how do you feel? And I was just I feel like I feel so fucking good. Like I just feel like nothing matters. I feel
Like,
like I have no worry in the world. I
mhm.
was just like, I've also like, it was overwhelming because I've never felt like that.
Yeah.
Like I was just
Like connected, safe,
so connected to myself. I don't
protected.
even know if
Yeah.
I felt safe, honestly, in that
Yeah.
moment because it was so foreign to me. But I just felt so connected to myself with whatever the fuck spell she put over me
Yeah.
that I was just like, oh my God, like this is a feeling that I've always like wanted to achieve in some way because I know that
Mhm.
super spiritual people like have these revelations and these feelings and I never
Mhm.
thought that I would be able to like tap into that. Um but it was really cool. And so then she kind of like woke me up and then it was so sweet like when I left or when I was leaving like she was just like I'm so happy that you had that experience. Like she was like I'm so like grateful that you experienced that here, like that was really amazing for you, like, and then she like kind of told me again what the colors meant. And
What did your color mean? Did you say that already?
she said just like something about clarity. I think that's the only thing that I remember that she said, but it was just like that you're on the right direction. But I think that it was just kind of like based off of what I told her during our
Mhm.
little chit chat before. um but it was weird, like I was like, am I still hypnotized right now? Like when I left,
Yeah.
like I was like, am I still under? But I was like, bitch, I want to be in this fucking state.
Yeah.
And then I was like, can you sprinkle some like don't vape in there?
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
can you sprinkle a little something else in there? Like, but no, it was really fucking cool. And I'm excited to go back and see like what else I can tap into with her.
Did you have any like revelations? Was there
No
anything that like
revelations, zero revelations. It was a
mhm.
matter of like simply she told me at the end because my friend was like, oh, like she always aligns my chakras. And I
Mhm.
was like, okay, I don't even know what a fucking chakra is. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Like, I don't know what's going on here.
Mhm.
But she was like, I told her that. And she was like, I don't need to align your chakras. She's like, your chakras are aligned. I was
Mm.
like, per?
Okay, slay.
Yeah, I was like, okay, they are aligned.
Mhm.
Um, but no, it was just really fucking. It was just like the first step. I think it was like stage one of the stuff that she does, because
Yeah.
she kind of explained like you get deeper and deeper into connecting with yourself, and I think that
Mhm.
this was like the first stage of just like being present with my physical body and meeting like my conscious and subconscious.
Yeah.
It was really fucking cool.
Yeah.
Like it was really cool.
I feel like we need to do a little swap now. Like I need you to come with me to a breathwork class cuz what you're explaining sounds quite similar
In like the cathartic
in
sense.
a sense, yeah, as to like what I experienced from this class.
I feel like I would be super down to go to a breathwork class, but I would want to do maybe a couple more sessions with her
Yeah.
for some reason.
Yeah.
But I do want to do a breathwork class.
Also, another thing I've done most of the things that you can do. I mean, outside of like I've never done hypnotherapy. I tried to get hypnotized a couple of times and it hasn't worked for me, but never like in that type of setting. Um but like I've done like tarot card readings and like those kinds of things. Like I've done those kinds of things and I always find them to be, they can be helpful and they can be insightful in like whatever way you want to interpret
But
them.
they're not like personalized.
But what I was going to say is that when I go into things like that, I always like, even if it were to like be a like a chart reading, if I were to get my like zodiac chart read to me, like I try as hard as I possibly can to not share too much about myself beforehand, because I think that there are people, I think that it's a real thing. I think there are people out there that can like tap into that kind of stuff, especially when it comes to like spirituality and those kinds of things. However, I do think that like there are people that are full of shit, right? Like I think
Like
that's
anyone
just the
can
world.
read a tarot card in my mind.
Yeah, maybe potentially. However, so like when I go into those types of settings, I try to share as little about myself like in the beginning,
For
just to
sure.
like just to like validate any like suspicion or whatever that I have.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like any experience where you are kind of forced to sit with yourself and like connect with yourself, I think can be really good for you
Mm-hmm.
and interesting and cathartic. Like for example, like the breathwork class that I did, like I did have a few revelations throughout that experience and whatever. And they were good but like relatively minor. However, like it is like a certain sense of like, first of all, being connected with yourself, and second of all, like it's so euphoric because you're
Mm-hmm.
just like, holy fucking shit, I didn't even know that the human body could feel this way. I didn't even know my
Exactly.
emotions
Maybe
could
that's a good way to
go.
put like what I was experiencing.
Maybe, but
Yeah.
like also it's like I didn't even know my emotions could take me there. I didn't even know
That like
like
my emotions could feel physical.
yeah. And like there is like a certain sense of like connectivity that
Yeah.
you're just like, holy fucking shit.
Yeah.
And also I'm like, a lot of people say like those kinds of things are bullshit and blah 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 blah. And I'm like, but if it is making you feel good and it's also encouraging you to like
Be a
dig
better
deeper and be a better
person.
person, then
Yeah.
who actually gives a fuck?
No.
Like who actually gives a fuck?
1,000%.
And that's, I say the same thing about tarot and like those kinds of things too. And
No,
it's like,
yeah. Like I completely agree.
yeah. Anyway, but that's a slay. I'm happy for you.
It was really cool. And like
Yeah.
at first I was like, hypnotherapy sounds kind of like crazy, but it wasn't even like she was hypnotizing me into like thinking one way or another. It's
Yeah.
more of like getting into such a state of calmness that you can be so present with your mind and your body
Mm-hmm.
that like the result of that is whatever the fuck happened to me yesterday.
But on another note, that's like not wildly dissimilar from like a guided meditation. Like, I feel like you're achieving the same goal kind of, just under a different label essentially. Like what you're talking about like basically sounds like I do like sound baths and shit all the time at my gym, and like I love stuff like that. But like, and like breath work, those kinds of things, it's kind of all the same, and it just forces you to be super present with yourself and like connect to your body, and it's
Mhm.
like all the same fucking thing, just under a
Mhm.
different like term or a different label.
Yeah,
um
or different theory or whatever the fuck it is.
yeah, because like even what you're talking about, like there's like music playing in the background, like I'm sure she like
Mhm.
talked you into like, you're gonna breathe this way, blah 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 blah. Like I've been to a million meditation
Yeah.
sessions that are probably kind of similar to that, and it's like just about like defining it under one label or
Mhm.
another. But like I feel like being hypnotized or like hypnotherapy or like whatever, probably kind of people feel a little more skeptical of and like are a
Mhm.
little sus of, because it's like almost like giving up control. But then when you put it under something like meditation or whatever, it makes you like the wording gives you a
Mhm.
sense of like control.
It was just like for I've done like a lot of sound baths.
Mm-hmm.
Um I've never done a breathwork class, but I do feel like this experience versus the breathwork classes that I've done, us being like fucking hippies today.
Yeah, what is this?
Okay, let's cut to the chase. Okay, um, I just feel like this experience was like obviously much more like personalized
Yes.
than like a group class or
Right.
something like
Right.
that.
Because it was one on one.
It was like one on one, Yeah, because it was one-on-one.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm done talking about this. I'm not a hippie. I'm still a psychopath. Okay. Are you hot or are you bothered?
I need a minute. Okay.
We are tapping our feet. We are breathing in.
We have so much
We
energy.
are exhaling.
We're drinking
we
tequila.
are exiting out of our hypnosis.
Yes.
Yeah, we're not calm anymore.
Okay. Back to being manic and psychotic and whatever.
Are you hot or are you bothered?
Okay, I'm both this week. Guess what, guys? I'm hot and bothered.
Period.
Hot because for some reason there's like something happening. I don't know if it has to do with the planets. I haven't done any research on this. There's something happening in the universe, and I've been witnessing this on behalf of like people I know and
Yourself.
myself and whatever, like people who have been doing things to better their lives and work on themselves and so on and so forth over the past like probably 6-ish months, I feel like are really thriving. A lot of people are seeing like a lot of positive changes happening in their lives, and the people that are reluctant to like better themselves or reluctant to change or whatever are not seeing the same results, and in fact their lives are kind of like going south, like everything is falling apart for them, me not being one of them. No, a lot of really good things are happening in my life right now. And I've told everybody this before, but for some reason I'm the type of person where when one thing falls apart in my life or when one thing changes, I just blow the whole thing up and I'm like, let's just start fresh. Okay, so some things have developed in my life over the past couple of weeks that have been incredibly, incredibly positive. But a lot of things are changing and life is looking different and so on and so forth. And with that, I had a fight with my friends with benefits / situationship like last week that resulted in me terminating the relationship, not indefinitely, but like
just taking a step back
taking a
and
step
like
back,
not
yeah.
doing it right now.
Yeah. I basically was like, we just need to like take some time apart and just fucking figure shit out. And
Like breathe.
yes. And like
it's not worth it to think
recenter.
about this situation as much as you have been.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like not adding stress to a situation that's supposed to be low stress.
Yes.
And so I'm hot because like my life is changing and things are happening, but I'm bothered because with that, I've spent more time than I care to admit wondering to myself like, okay, so this person, my situationship friends with benefits guy, big dick, whatever we call him, I don't know what we call him on this podcast. Love this guy. I adore him. I care about him so deeply. And I'm so fucking annoying. I posted a video on my private Snap the other day, like me crying on the internet, talking about like we had this like huge fight. And when we finally like got together in person to talk about the fight, we had a serious conversation, and then it like essentially resulted in us like making eye contact and then just erupting in laughter, like just bursting out laughing, like laughing so hard. And then we were making fun of each other and ourselves and how we handled the fight that we had. And like I had literal tears streaming down my face. I was laughing so fucking hard. I've never had a relationship in which serious topics and fights and conversations can also be made lighthearted. So that was like a breath of fresh air for me, which also made like the breakup even more difficult. But it was a sleigh. It was like, okay, me and this person are like friends before anything else. We care about each other very deeply. However, with that being said, we both are not in a place where we're willing to commit any farther to each other. And so, farther or further? Which one are you supposed to use?
Further.
Not commit any further to each other. And so,
you ended it.
So I ended it. And even before I ended it, I had spent some time thinking about like, I absolutely adore this person on a level that is so far beyond romantic. Like, even if there were to not be a sexual relationship between us, I would still want to have a friendship with this person because I care about them. And therefore, I was like, okay, but we're not committing to each other. We're still dating other people. And so, when we are to both eventually find other people and move on from each other romantically, can we still be friends?
Mm-hmm.
And that's like a really hard concept for me to grasp in my mind because like I want this person in my life forever. Like I still and I have
That's a big statement.
yeah, well maybe not forever, but like for the foreseeable future. I want this person in my life, right? And I have I only have like one ex-boyfriend. I have a couple of guys that I've dated really casually and then one like serious ex-boyfriend that I still have a good and positive relationship with. And when I've been in relationships in the past, I don't I didn't even talk to that person, that ex-boyfriend, out of respect for my current relationship. And so to summarize, I've just spent a lot of time thinking about what the balance is and like where is it healthy and unhealthy to keep those types of people in your life when you're in a relationship with someone else. And this is a toxic trait of mine. Um I'm so for very valid reasons, I will preface with I am so not trusting when it comes to men and like romantic relationships. Like I have severe trust issues. I think they're very valid because like we all know, I think everybody that listens to this, we all know straight men, they are a different breed and usually can't be trusted. Um However, I know myself and I know that I am a trustworthy person.
Mm-hmm.
I would never do anything like I've never even like formally cheated in a relationship. When I was a freshman in high school, I kissed a guy at a party while I was still in a relationship with a guy that I was planning on breaking up with the next week. And in terms of like any sort of cheating or anything like that, that's literally the extent of it. And so I know myself. And so, like, I would be the type of person where in a relationship, I would say, no, it's okay for me to maintain these types of relationships with ex, I don't even want to say ex boyfriends, but like ex
X
lovers
X
or like
yeah, X X.
ex ex.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, like, that would be okay for me to do, but I would never, ever, 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 ever in my life trust a straight man to maintain a friendship or a relationship or a connection
With someone that
with
he's fucked.
somebody that you've had a sexual relationship with in the past. And and I know that's not healthy.
So basically your partner can trust you, but he can't trust the
But
man.
I can't trust.
No.
Oh,
On your partner's end, he can trust you to not want to fuck this guy that you used to fuck, but he wouldn't be able to trust that guy because that guy is a guy.
yeah, and that's a gray area.
Yeah.
Big time gray area. So anyway, but I also do know people who like have hooked up with somebody in their friend group and they're still friends with that group and
I
like
have
their new
like so
relationship.
much to say about this topic.
Please fill us in. Tell us what you have to
Like
say.
I don't know, I just feel like it depends on the dynamic
Yeah.
between you and your partner. I feel like it depends on the dynamic between you and the person that you used to fuck. Like
Yeah.
I have like my core group of friends, like I don't know, I feel like there's so many of them that have hooked up and
You can't just X all of those people out of your
not a
life.
not even like I mean I'm sure it was romantic during the time, but like they both like it's like I don't know, but I also have like a very close knit like group of
Yeah.
friends that we've like known each other for our whole lives, so it's a little
Yeah.
bit different. Like it's like more, it seems more so, I can't speak on behalf of them, but like more so of like an experimental thing.
Yeah.
um Maybe to see if there was a romantic connection between them, maybe to see if like, you know what I mean, like
Yeah.
I don't even know. But I do feel like it just heavily depends on, you know, your relationship with your partner and your dynamic with that sexual partner that you had previously, and
Yeah.
also like the level of trust that you have with one another, and like also if that other person is in another relationship, that's like a huge, if the
Mm-hmm.
person that you used to fuck is now in a relation, in like a completely happy and secure relationship, like you and your partner are probably like your partner is probably going to feel more comfortable seeing that.
Right.
If you're dating like an insecure person, obviously that's not going to fucking fly well.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, I feel like the situation is dependent upon a lot of things, and then the personalities within are also dependent
Right.
on the situation.
I feel like that's also where I lose out though too, is because I've never been the type of person where I've never
There's like
been,
subcategories within the category.
yeah, and I've never been the type of person where I've never in my life been a part of a large friend group,
Mhm.
especially a large friend group that involves men.
Mhm.
Like I've had like small girlfriend groups and those kinds of things, but like I've I've never had like a friend group that involves men and women essentially. And so it's like, okay, so those type of people, okay, I'm going to use, and sue me for fucking talking about this. I'm going to use my last relationship as an example. Like, he had a huge friend group, which consisted of both men and women. And I know for a fact there are women in that group that he's had sexual past
Mhm.
with. However, I don't have that. And I feel like I personally connect better with people one on one versus in a group setting and in a group dynamic. Like, I
I feel the opposite.
that's so interesting. Like I don't like, even when I'm out in a social setting, if there's like a group of people talking, I'm usually silent. But then like with one-on-one conversations, I'll chat somebody's fucking ear off. And so it's like I have never had that opportunity really. So like, is it fair? Like you can't really like discriminate because this person is a friend
Yeah.
of mine. Like just because they weren't part of like a large friend group that I was part of doesn't mean that I shouldn't still be able to maintain a relationship or a connection with them. And so it's like, it's so ambiguous, but I'm just like, is there a standard? Like
I don't
where
think
is
there is a
it?
standard, and I don't really think that that should be like a defining factor in a relationship. And I also think that like for someone like you who personally hasn't experienced that and could potentially date someone that has that friend group dynamic or whatever,
Yeah.
like I think that that could be like a good testament to like yourself and your relationship,
Yeah.
and how you, I don't know, I feel like that would be like a good test. But also, like, not to make this about me, it's just so much different for gay people because we've all fucked one another.
Right,
And like,
exactly.
I don't even need to explain this because we all know,
Right.
like that's just completely normal for gay people. Like,
Right.
even if I have been in situations where like my ex has hooked up with someone that they know, and it made me insecure. But I know, interesting thing, I have been in situations where I know that, okay, actually no one gives a fuck. I don't know. I'm like, I've been in situations where my ex is like, "Oh yeah, this is like my friend, but like we've hooked up." And I'm like, "Okay, I don't really like, I don't care. Like you guys have hooked up." But then I know secretly that that person like would pursue my
Mm.
boyfriend
Mhm.
romantically if I was not here.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay, that's also another gray area and another added element because there is a certain element of like being respectful of your partner in that, like not maintaining a friendship or a close connection with somebody who like is very interested in them. However, as a woman, I am very oblivious to those kinds of things, and like this may
To
be,
someone wanting to fuck your man?
no, to someone wanting to fuck me. And
Yes.
my ex actually pointed this out, and he was like, I don't know if you're just like naive or like and he sounds shitty in the way that he said it because it was shitty in the way that he said it. But like he was like, I don't know if you're just naive or if you just like don't care, and whatever. Anyway, And
you're like, no, I'm in love with you, and I don't notice ugly fat men.
no, exactly. And it's like, so if somebody else is trying to fuck me, like that's not a problem of mine. That's their fucking problem. Like you can't fuck me. I don't know what to tell you. Like that is literally not my problem.
Like, let's
But
keep
they're
the
like,
conversation moving or not.
yeah, there is a certain element of respecting your partner. Like if you're consciously aware of the fact that somebody is trying to pursue you and you still maintain a connection with them. However, like, and he had the argument too of like, men and women can't be friends because yada 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 whatever, and I feel uncertain about that. However, like because I enjoy having male friends, I do hope that there is a world in which men and women can be friends. And so therefore I have this like this hopeful mindset that like the male friends that I do have are friends with me because they want to be friends with me and not because they want to fuck me. And so it's like,
I mean, like, tale as old as time, Cedar.
well, yeah, but it's
I
like,
don't know what you
how do
want from the
I
world.
how do I like I have to be more skeptical of people? Like that can't be the only solution. That's insane because I'm already highly skeptical of everybody. Like
I don't know. I've never been in a situation where someone wants to fuck me, so I don't know how to.
sometimes when we have these conversations, I'm like, I need to have a second podcast with somebody that's straight because it's just
No,
like,
I know. I'm just like, I don't know what to tell you. Gay
No,
people
I
fuck
know.
everyone,
Yeah.
and straight people are fucking something up in some way, shape, or form.
Okay, so girls, write in your feedback. Let me know what you think. Also,
I don't think there's a
will
right
say,
or wrong answer, and I
don't
think it's
think that there is.
case by case, and I think there's an infinite amount of fucking factors that can go into
Can I say
that
something? Can I say something?
situation.
I I have found hope in other people's relationships, because like I have a
homeless
girlfriend.
man that lives downstairs that's
yeah,
yelling.
yeah. Okay, so I have a girlfriend. Her and I broke up with our boyfriends around the same time, and we were both like, "Fuck, we're gonna be single forever.
me?
Like, let's be single." Yeah, that's you. Let's be single. Let's be single. Let's be single. And then so I was broke and miserable for a span of time, and didn't go visit her. She lives in San Diego. Didn't go visit her for a while, and then so by the time I went to go visit her again, and it had been like probably like 9 months since I had seen her, she was like, she has a boyfriend now. And I'm like, fuck, we were supposed to be single forever. Like, what the fuck? And she has a boyfriend now. And so the weekend I was going to go visit her, he was going to be visiting her as well. And I was like,
Ugh, cock block for me.
okay, like, can't wait to see how this plays out. And I was like really skeptical of the dynamic. And literally from the second I got there, before I even met him, I was on the phone with them, and they just turned, both of them ended up like really coming through for me in a situation that was less than ideal that I was in. And
You were just like, I need that kind of relationship.
Turned the fuck out, and they came and picked me up from where I was at, and like from the second I met him, first of all, he was like, I've been following the podcast. This is literally like meeting
an ally, a
he was like,
queen.
this is literally like meeting my childhood celebrity crush. I'm so excited to meet you.
So sweet.
So sweet. And ended up just being such a fucking slay the whole weekend I was with them. And they have the type of relationship where like so trusting, so genuine, both just absolutely adore one another, but also like he's truly and honestly just one of the girls.
Yeah.
And like he's able to be that, and they still have like a very trusting relationship where she's like, I know he would never be like weird or creepy in that way. And fucking slay. And I love that, and I admire relationships like that, but I am just like, I don't know how one achieves a relationship like that. Like that is so like beyond my.
I have a lot of thoughts on that. I feel like for straight men with this particular case, it's like nurture versus nature.
Yeah.
In a way.
Mm-hmm.
Like he probably has like
maybe like sisters or something.
Yeah,
I
and
actually
like
don't know
cool
his
parents.
story, but yeah.
Like I don't know. I feel like
yeah.
all the guys that I know that are like that come from like really good families
Mm-hmm.
that and have sisters.
Mm-hmm.
and everyone like questions them if they're gay or not, but it's like, no, you're just like actually a man who knows how to like handle a fucking woman.
I have to say something and then I'm done talking about this.
Okay, go.
That's also the thing. I don't know if he's fully straight. And here's the thing. Chris and Madison, if you're listening to this, I'm sorry.
If his name's Chris, he's gay.
Yeah. So here's the thing. When we were all hanging out together, I literally said to them in front of both of them, I was like, Madison, when you said that I had to meet a boyfriend, I was so fucking annoyed. But if you were to have to bring a straight man into our lives, I'm so glad it's this one. And they both laughed. And she's like, well, he's bi. So, but I didn't know if they were kidding or not. And I still don't know. I never clarified. I never asked any
Madison,
clarifying
please
questions.
comment below. We need to know the answer.
Please clarify for us. So anyway, if that is the case, then I guess that's the answer to my problems. I have to date a guy that's not straight.
Yeah, but then you would be literally double suicidal that he would be fucking guys too.
Yeah, 1000%. Okay, anyway, so there is no solution. If anyone has solutions, comments, suggestions, let me know. Send me a message. I need to get to the bottom of this. Is it inappropriate for me to maintain relationships with guy friends of mine that I have a sexual history with if I'm in a current relationship? Answer the question.
Honestly, no one fucking answered the question. If you can't handle it, then you shouldn't. Like, if you can't handle that with your partner, then you shouldn't maintain those relationships with people that you used to fuck.
You mean don't be hypocritical?
Correct.
Okay, yeah.
If you don't want your partner to be talking to someone that he used to fuck, then don't talk to people that you used to fuck.
I love that mindset. However, I do think it's different with straight men and straight women.
I think it's a level of respect for your partner.
Yes, and I agree to an extent. But do you know how fucking sketchy and slimy straight men are?
No, I don't really fuck with them.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, anyway. So I hear you and I understand, and
I think that would just be like a common denominator of how to answer that question. If you don't want it to be done to you, then just don't do it to your partner. And set that boundary.
Yeah, fair and valid. Okay, anyway. Are you hot? Are you bothered?
I have to make this quick.
No, we have like 10 minutes. We still have to cut out.
I'm hot this week because I got into a physical altercation at a bar last weekend. I know last week I said I was going to be sober until the foreseeable future, and I have been on absolutely nothing but a fucking bender since the day that we recorded. No, fuck you.
I want to tell a story.
No.
Yeah.
What story?
Because last week, Chris and I, before we started recording.
But that's just me being like a fucking lunatic extremist where I'm like, I need to stop drinking. And then like 2 days later, I was like, it was the weekend. And I was like, oh my God, like I was stressed out that I couldn't like drink, but not because that I couldn't drink, but that I was just like pressuring myself not to drink.
Hold the fuck on.
You guys.
Hold on.
Help me. Someone. I need alcohol.
Hold on. What I was going to say is that last week before we started recording, you were like, I want to talk about how I'm on my sober journey. And I laughed at you and you were like, what are you laughing at? And I was like, every single 20-something reaches a point in their life where they say, I'm going to start only A, drinking on the weekends, so Friday and Saturday, or B, I'm only going to drink once a week. And no one ever fucking sticks to it. And you're being one of those people. And you were like, no, I'm not. I'm going to do it. Blah, 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 blah.
I just got so bored. I was like, everyone's going out. What the fuck am I supposed to do?
You came
can only
on
read
the
a
record.
book at home. Fuck all of it. Delete that episode. I don't give a shit. I'm out of here. I'm done. I want a fucking cocktail. I got into a bar fight last night. Some fat bitch kicked my friend in the stomach when we walked out of a bathroom, and I fucking popped her fat, ugly, nasty friend in the face.
I need more details on that because I didn't. You just told me you were like somebody came for my friend, and I just like went.
Becca, who's the nicest, literally.
Are we naming names?
I don't give a fuck.
Okay, so who? What happened? Why did this person come for Becca?
We were at.
Tell us.
Are you girls ready for this?
Yeah, we're so ready.
We were at Roosterfish in Venice.
My favorite.
Me and Becca were in line waiting for the bathroom. There's these two people at the bar. Young, circular, rotund woman, and the same thing for a man behind her, and the bathroom line is like 6 people deep. If you've ever been there, you fucking know what a nightmare that is to get through those chains to go into the bathroom.
Yeah.
So this girl walks up, and me and Becca are next in line. Like Becca, like, oh my god, you guys know Becca? Like, don't no, and like, don't go find her. No, but we're next in line to go into the bathroom, and this girl comes up and she's like trying to get into the bathroom, and I was super fucked up.
Of
And
course.
Becca, but I was being
On your
nice. Like I
sober
was like in a
journey.
good fucking mood. Like I was like I'm always in a good mood when I'm drunk.
Yeah.
Case in point.
Chris is actually the happiest
I'm
drunk
the
ever.
happiest. Like I
Happiest.
love everyone.
Yeah.
So this girl's like, and Becca's like, oh, like the line's actually this way. And the girl's like, well, the line usually actually goes this way. And I don't even think we responded to this chick because like Becca just like doesn't like, she's like genuinely the nicest person in the world. So if
Yeah.
someone like gives her an answer back, she's just like, you're right. Like we're like 12 of us are standing in the wrong way. Like
Yeah.
you should go. And then the girl like disappears. And then the person comes out of the bathroom. Me and Becca are going pee together as two young women would do at a bar.
Mhm.
And I go in, and Becca's shutting the door. And the guy that girl was with puts his foot in the door, stops the door, and he's like, well, if he's going in with you, if you guys are all going together, I can go.
What?
I can go with you. And
no, love, that's not
like
how that
literally
works.
I was like unzipping my pants, and I was like, Becca, take care of this. Like your girl has got to take a piss. Like I was like, take care of him. I don't have time for this.
Yeah.
And then he's like pushing, I'm like, see him pushing the door open on her. And then I was like,
Wait, so he was fighting his way into the bathroom?
pushing the door open. And
Was this man gay or straight?
I don't fucking know. Ugly
Okay.
was what he
Great
was,
answer.
inside and out.
Yeah.
And Becca's sitting there with her skinny little twig arms trying to
Yeah.
like close the door on him. Her eyes are bulging out of her head looking at me to do
This
something.
man is forcing
And
himself
so
into the
I'm
bathroom.
like in my head in a split second, I'm like, we're either gonna go ape shit and physical, and like I'm probably gonna get myself kicked out just because of the way that like I talk to people.
Yeah.
Or I'm going to take like a psychological approach to this person and be like, which is what I did.
Okay.
And I was like, I'm sorry, this is really inappropriate. We're just using the bathroom really quickly. I was like, I'm not sure. Like, I was like, there's a lot of people online that have been waiting to like, just give us like, we'll be super quick. Like, please, this is really uncomfortable and really inappropriate. Like, we need to shut the door. Like, I literally,
you said all of this.
I said that to him.
Wow.
Like I was like, I remember being like, this is, I think actually what I said was, this is extremely inappropriate.
Yeah.
And
it is.
I was like, we'll just be really quick.
Mm-hmm.
And so me and Becca shut the door. We both end up peeing. I'm really drunk, and I'm like, me and Becca start talking, and I like kind of start like getting emotional about me and her's situation, about like something that doesn't matter that probably I made up in my head while we were in the bathroom. And we opened the door, and I remember people were banging on the door like, cokeheads, cokeheads, cokeheads. And I was like, bro, we're just going to the bathroom.
It's literally just two girls having a moment.
It was just two girls having a moment in the bathroom. And everyone's like banging on the door like, oh, cokeheads, cokeheads, coke. And I was like, fucking lame. So I was like, okay, Becca, like stay behind me. I'm going to open the door because it kind of sounded aggressive. And so I open the door, and like we slowly walk out, and then I like turn around, and I literally see Becca's head like in like I see her like Betty Spaghetti like bent over, like touching her toes in front of this girl. And all I remember was turning around as fast as I could. I literally plucked her like a fucking kitten by the neck, threw her over my shoulder, and I tell this girl, I was like, what the fuck is going on? I was like, what the fuck is going on? She was like, did you hear what she said to me? Did you hear what she said to me? And I was like, what did she say? I was like, what did she say? And I think every time I think I probably said, what did she say 10 times? And every time I said it, I got fucking louder because she kept saying like, did you hear what she said? And I was like, there's no way that Becca said a goddamn word to provoke you. Like, hand to God, I would bet every fucking penny that I have.
Wait, she kicked
in
Becca?
the stomach, but that I found out later.
Kicked Becca in the stomach.
I saw Becca bent over, and I was like, I don't know, that bitch,
Okay.
like her wig is backwards. I was like, so I drag her, pull her over, done. She's gone. She's back over there with everyone else. I start talking to her. Then her like fat friend comes up behind her. I blacked out. I think I started swinging at this guy. All of a sudden, I wake up from my blackout, and they're gone. These people are absolutely nowhere to be found in this bar. I don't know what happened between me asking her what did she say and me seeing this guy and them disappearing. Like I was literally like, but anyway, so they left. Then I remember everyone around me yelling. Like everyone around us was yelling. And I was like, and then I just like kind of come to my senses because I've never really been in like a situation like that. So when I came back to my senses, everyone was like, the bartender was like, and then Becca comes up to me and she was like, that girl kicked me in the stomach when I walked out of the bathroom. And so I turn around to the bartender who like me and Becca were talking to because the bartender was so sweet. And I was like, those people tried to cut us in line in the bathroom. They kicked down the door. They like were calling us cokeheads. And then that girl kicked Becca in the stomach. And then the bartender was like, I'm so fucking sorry. Like, do you guys want shots? Like, drinks on me? Like, whatever you guys want. Like, and then I remember telling her, I was like, I don't want a fucking drink. And I was like, I swear to God, if I see those two people in here, like, they will be leaving on a fucking ambulance. Like, I was so mad. I was like, so mad. So I went from being sober last week to
Getting in a bar fight.
getting in bar fights.
I have to clarify. I was literally cackling, and I'm sorry, I was not laughing at Becca getting kicked in the stomach, but the comparison to fucking Betty Spaghetti. I forgot, first of all, I forgot that Betty Spaghetti ever existed. Thank you for bringing that into the front of my brain.
That's why I'm hot this week.
That was a really good comparison. However, is Becca okay? Okay.
She was like fine. Like I was like, what's going on?
How
like,
does that happen? Like how in a bar also like Roosterfish usually gets packed.
no,
So
yeah.
how in a bar do you wind
But
up
I think
and kick somebody in the
they were
stomach?
standing right at the bar, right where the bathroom was. You know how the bar like
Yeah,
wraps
yeah,
around
yeah.
and there's the bathroom in
Yeah.
that corner, and they were right there. But I think that those people were really fucked up, and I think that the bartender knew, so that's why she was like on our side about it. You know, like
That
I
is
think
the
that those,
most insane.
yeah.
And but was she hurt at all? Like how hard did this bitch kick her?
I don't know. I never asked her. We were just laughing about it the next day. Like all we could text each other is like,
Oh
remember when we
my
were
God.
fighting people? She was like, remember when that girl kicked me in the stomach? And I was like,
Oh my
no.
God.
Like,
Oh my God.
no, I don't remember. And then literally the bartender was like getting us drinks, and I
It's
was like,
one thing to
her.
like shove somebody. It's one thing to like
But I
intentionally
saw
trip
Becca
somebody.
like bent over, and I was like,
What the fuck?
and I was like, literally like, you could put
Dude.
your hands on Cedar, and I'd be like,
You're
she
like,
said something.
have
I'm
fun.
like, don't drag me into this. I'm like, I'm not fucking dealing with whatever the fuck she's dealing with. Like, not my problem. She started this
Because
mess.
you know I started that
Yeah,
fight. Yeah.
I was like, she did
Yeah.
that. But when I saw Becca like that, I was like, mamas.
No.
I was like, I will fucking go ballistic on every single person in this club, bar, fucking establishment. Like, I will go crazy.
And I have a lot of respect for you for that.
And I feel like that's probably like the only person that I would do. Maybe there's like 4 or 5 people that I would do that for.
Yeah.
Maybe like 3,
Yeah.
4.
There's like 2 for me, but yeah. Betty Spaghetti is crazy.
Yeah. It was fucking nuts. But I'm hot this week because I can fight a bitch.
Slay. Chris is out of his sober era, and he's
And I remember
fully
I remember looking at this woman in the face. She was wearing like a pilgrim dress with arms attached to her body were the arms. Big arms. And I was just looking at her, and I was like, and I don't get physical. This was the first time that I've ever like had an experience like that. But I just remember being like, a man cannot put their hands on a woman.
No.
Like as I was talking to her, like I think that like I had God tying my hands behind my back.
Yeah.
And I was like, I just remember talking to her being like, what did she say? And I also simultaneously remember thinking like, a man can never fucking put his hands on a fucking woman. Ever, 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 ever.
Regardless who was in the wrong in that
No,
situation.
I would
If you
never
were,
touch a woman ever like that. I will beat the shit out of a guy all day long.
Yeah.
But like, I would never. That's weird. That's fucking weird.
That is weird. Also, I keep thinking about, we can edit this out if we want, but like you were like 2 episodes ago, you were like, I got kicked out of the
concert.
2 episodes ago, you were like, I'm sober an episode ago. And now this episode, you're like, I got in a fucking bar fight.
motherfuckers, this is my life. What do you want from me? I got kicked out of that fucking club because apparently my name holds no weight.
Yeah.
I was sober because I was bored, and then I got into a fight because someone touched my friend.
Okay, that's crazy. That's crazy.
It was really
Crazy.
good. Let's do it tonight.
Yeah, let's do it. Okay, we have to go.
Okay, love you. Homework is get into a bar fight. Go see a hypnotherapist. Go become best friends with someone that you used to fuck if you're in a relationship. And what else?
You covered all of it.
I think that's basically it, no?
Yeah, there was like a light subject we touched on in the beginning. I don't remember what it was.
Gracie Abrams.
Gracie Abrams.
Okay, love you, dolls.
Oh my God, we love you so much. Thank you so much for listening this
Follow
week.
us on Instagram.
Follow us
on
everywhere.
Twitter. We don't have a Twitter.
We don't have a Twitter. Don't
Fuck
follow us
that.
there.
No way.
Twitter, I say this, Twitter is literally for gay porn and incels. And that is the only reason to use Twitter.
I use it for both.
Perfect. I love that.
Love you guys.
Love you so much. Bye.